Every season, we see trades go down at the deadline that have a big effect going forward. Last year, we saw the Toronto Raptors go get Marc Gasol, who played a big role in their championship run. We saw the Mavericks bring in Kristaps Porzingis, who's a massive reason they're sitting as the 5th seed in the Western Conference, only a year removed from being the 14th seed. In this video, we're going to look at some players with the best chance to be traded and who could be going after them. But if you guys like my content, make sure you like and subscribe. Let's try to get 5,432 likes on today's video, and let's hop into it. Now for this video, we're going to look at some of the most notable names that have been receiving trade buzz. I do have to make the disclaimer that these players could already be traded by the time you're seeing this. We are only going based on rumors and reports. For all we know, none of these players could get traded, but that's pretty hard to imagine. A team that is receiving a lot of trade deadline buzz is the Detroit Pistons. If their roster were to stay intact, there's a possibility they're in the playoffs, but that's going to be the 8th seed at best. The realization is starting to sink in for this Pistons front office that this roster is not going to compete for a title. They've got some solid young pieces such as Luke Kennard and Seka Doumbouya. It's time to build around those guys. Most of the trade rumors involve 2 players, Derrick Rose and Andre Drummond. It's incredible to see the comeback Derrick Rose has had this season. He's getting 19 points and 6 assists a game, shooting 50% from the field. Over the last month, it's been 23 points. Derrick Rose can bring a lot of value to a team that needs a guy to go out there and create his own shot off the bench. What's exciting is if Derrick Rose does get moved, it's most likely going to be to a contender, and most teams can find a way to get a deal done salary-wise with him getting just $15 million over the next 2 years. The team rumored to be the most interested is the Los Angeles Lakers. Reportedly, the Pistons are seeking a first-round pick in return for Rose, but there's also rumors that the Lakers could be willing to let go of Kyle Kuzma. There's not too many Las Vegas trade props for the deadline, but there is one for Kuzma on whether or not he will get traded, and that's at plus 110, which is basically even. It's hard to project exactly what that deal would be, but if the Lakers are letting go of Kuzma to the Pistons, I hope they could also bring back Svi Mykhailiuk in that deal, who's averaging 9 points, shooting 43% from 3 this season. There's some other teams rumored to have interest in Rose, such as the 76ers, but as of right now, it does seem the Lakers are the favorite to land the former MVP. Another big name the Pistons have on the block is Andre Drummond. The money line for him getting traded right now to any team is at minus 270, and as you guys should know, Vegas is always right, so there is a very good chance Drummond is out the door. Now, to what team that could be, the by far frontrunner is the Atlanta Hawks at minus 150. To me, it doesn't make too much sense. While it's a need, they're at the bottom of the NBA, and Drummond could potentially be hitting the open market this offseason. Now, with that said, we've seen recent trade deadline moves such as Tobias Harris and Kristaps Porzingis turn into long-term extensions. Behind the Hawks is the Celtics and Raptors at plus 500. Both these teams could use a guy like Drummond, but as of right now, the clear frontrunner is the Hawks. Next, we've got the Cavaliers power forward Kevin Love. Vegas has extremely high odds that Love will be traded before the deadline. Currently, the line is sitting at minus 500. For the Cavs, it obviously makes sense. They're one of the worst teams in the league, looking to build around their young talent. There is no need for a 31-year-old Kevin Love on their books for 3 more seasons. He's still a very solid player, currently averaging 18 points and 10 rebounds, shooting 38% from 3. Some potential landing spots have emerged, such as the Portland Trailblazers and the Phoenix Suns. I actually really like the scenario for the Suns. They've got some solid pieces such as DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker. It's hard for them to bring in much talent in free agency, so I think they would benefit greatly from a veteran like Love, who doesn't have much time left as a top power forward, but there's still some left in the tank. One of the latest rumors is that the Milwaukee Bucks are shopping Eric Bledsoe at the deadline. He let them down in the playoffs a year ago, so the right package could make them an even bigger threat as they look to come out of the Eastern Conference. Now, there's contradicting rumors about whether or not they're actually looking to move Bledsoe. The Bucks GM has shot the rumors down, but we've seen that in the past ahead of a trade, and the Bucks are looking to make any big moves. I think Bledsoe is the most realistic piece to be involved, given how George Hill is playing this season. Now, a lot of the players we've looked at are big names and if moved would most likely be considered a blockbuster trade, but some of the most impactful trades don't involve the guys everyone sees on the NBA's Instagram on a nightly basis. Robert Covington gets a lot of attention from the non-casual fans, and rightfully so. I don't think there's a team that's worse with Covington on their roster. He has the most valuable skill set everyone, including myself, likes to talk about, and that's 3-and-D. He's an elite defender who on his career has shot 36% from 3 on over 6 attempts a game. He doesn't demand too many touches, but it's going to be interesting to see what his price tag is. It's been rumored that he's one of the Mavericks' biggest trade targets, and it's also been reported that the Timberwolves have already declined an offer from the Mavericks for him. Now that's a trade I would really like to see, but I expect a lot of offers coming in for Robert Covington. The thing with Covington though is that he has one of the best veteran contracts in the whole league. He's on contract for 2 more seasons for around $12 million a year. Tristan Thompson is having a career year, averaging over 12 points and 10 rebounds. For any competing team that needs a rebounding presence, Tristan Thompson more than fills that hole. He's only got 1 year left on his contract and will be surprised if he's not moved in the next week. One of my favorite trade targets going into this deadline is Marcus Morris of the New York Knicks. The quote-unquote guy for New York isn't RJ Barrett or Julius Randle, it's Marcus Morris, who on his career has averaged 12 points. Offensively, he's been one of the best power forwards in all of the NBA, averaging over 19 points, shooting 45% from 3. A contender getting a lethal stretch big like Morris could be huge. The latest rumors are that the Knicks aren't opposed to moving Morris, it's just that they've given him a pretty high price tag. But there are some buzz around teams we've mentioned, I think like 20 times already, such as the Clippers, 76ers, and Lakers. Another name swirling around the trade rumor world is going to be Kings shooting guard Bogdan Bogdanovic. Now the teams looking to go after him, I'm not even going to bother naming, you know who they are, but he's a solid piece for teams looking for some rotational offense. He's averaging 14 points, shooting 37% from 3. Lastly, we're going to look at a team in a very interesting scenario approaching this deadline, and that's the Oklahoma City Thunder. Going into the season, after trading away their star players Paul George and Russell Westbrook, it looked like this season was going to be the start of a rebuild and would finish with some of the best odds to land the #1 pick in the draft. That's definitely not how this season has turned out. Right now, they sit as the 7th seed in the Western Conference, separated by 4 games with the 4th-seeded Denver Nuggets and 6 games ahead of the 8th-seeded Grizzlies. So with there being a very realistic shot they're playing in the playoffs, they are put in a pretty weird scenario. Do they play out the season with the roster they have, or do they go ahead and blow it up and get the value out of guys like Danilo Gallinari on the last year of his contract? As a Thunder fan, I'm torn. I actually really like this year's team and want to see what they could do in the playoffs, but at the end of the day, all I want to see is this team win an NBA title. Guys like Chris Paul, Steven Adams, and Danilo Gallinari will most likely not be around at the time. That's a legit possibility. So if the goal is a title, what makes the most sense is making some big moves at this deadline. But I also believe a winning culture is important, and with the draft picks they have coming in from other teams, tanking might not be what's best. So as you can see, I'm very torn. Regardless of what I think is best, some of the most rumored players to be on the move are on the Thunder's roster. The main ones being Danilo Gallinari, Steven Adams, Chris Paul, and Dennis Schroeder. The player I think could shake up the league rankings the most from this group, in my opinion, is Steven Adams. He's not a crazy scoring threat, but he's efficient at the basket, a great rebounder, and solid interior defender. There's a lot of teams rumored to have interest in Adams, but I think the most interesting are definitely the Los Angeles Clippers and the Boston Celtics. The Clippers could probably get it done contract-wise with guys like Harkless and Zubac. It's just that most of their trade assets they've already given to the Thunder for Paul George. I've talked about it a lot, but I think Adams is the perfect trade target for the Celtics. Going into the playoffs, I really don't think they want to have Enes Kanter down low against the likes of Joel Embiid and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Danilo Gallinari has been one of the most common names brought up approaching this deadline. One, because he's having a great season. He's getting over 19 points a game, shooting over 41% from 3, but also because he is on the last year of his deal, which means the price tag shouldn't be too crazy. Early on in the season, there was a lot of rumors that the Blazers would like to go after him, but the latest is that both the Mavericks and 76ers are very interested. He could definitely bring a boost to either of these teams, but how sick would it be to have a European Big Three in Dallas? Dennis Schroeder wasn't getting too much attention till recently when he's put himself in the conversation for 6th Man of the Year. On the season, he's averaging 19 points and 4 assists, shooting 47% from the field and 38% from 3. He's still got another year on his contract, but the rumors are starting to heat up. Chris Paul's been proving a lot of people wrong this season, as at 34 years old, he's getting 17 points and 6 assists, shooting 48% from the field and 36% from 3. He's a guy that can push a lot of teams closer to championship contention. The big thing with him is obviously his contract that's going to pay him over $40 million a season for the next 2 seasons. That makes it pretty hard to get a deal done, but that doesn't stop rumors from flying in. Teams that get brought up a lot include the Miami Heat and Milwaukee Bucks, but honestly, I think he's the least likely of the 4 to get traded given that ridiculous contract. I'm excited to see what happens with this Thunder team over the next couple weeks. I don't think a minute is going to go by where Sam Presti's phone isn't ringing. But that's the video, guys. You guys tell me your thoughts in the comments below. If you like the video, make sure you like and subscribe. And the shoutouts are gonna be DeAndre, Connor, Youngboy, Caden, and Kim. If you guys want to shout out on the next video, all you got to do is like the video and comment liked or rep notification squad, and I'll shout 5 of you guys out. With all that being said, hope you guys have a great day. The face reveals on the Twitter, so go check that out, and peace.